Welcome to 340B Leaders Upfront, a new monthly podcast from 340B Report. I'm Anna Mangum, host of this new program, which showcases 340B Report's valued sponsors and the crucial role they play in the 340B ecosystem. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing to 340B Report by going to 340breport.com and using the coupon code PODCAST25 to receive a 25% discount. If you did not hear prior episodes, here's a little bit about me. I've dedicated my career to promoting healthcare access, quality, and equity. I've been a senior leader with a variety of major national advocacy and trade organizations, including 340B Health, where I work closely with 340B Report publisher and CEO Ted Slavsky for over a decade. In this exciting new chapter of 340B Leaders Upfront, I chat with two senior leaders at Plenful, a healthcare and pharmacy AI and workflow automation company. Joy Liu, founder and executive officer, and Tim Lahamadou, senior vice president of pharmacy. Today, we'll catch up with Joy and Tim and learn more about their careers, the solutions that Plenful provides, and current and emerging challenges and opportunities in the 340B space. Welcome and thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Before we get into learning more about Plenful, I want to learn more about both of you and how you got into the 340B space. Joy, I know you have an interesting personal story about navigating the healthcare system that made you appreciate the importance of safety net providers and culturally competent healthcare delivery. Can you tell us more?
Yes. Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to be here with you all today. In terms of my background, I had the privilege of being a patient advocate for a family member. I got to see firsthand what it took to be that specialty patient navigating multiple chronic disease states and how much of the complexity and the burden fell on the patient. Through that, I was very inspired to learn more about healthcare, got in touch with the early team of a company called Shields Health Solutions that focused on health system specialty pharmacy operations. And through that role, I had the opportunity to work within the four walls of multiple health systems alongside just incredible talent in terms of pharmacists, in terms of pharmacy technicians, in terms of 340B teams, which I'm very excited to focus on our solutions for today, and just getting to see the manual administrative pain points firsthand and what it took to not just operate, but execute and deliver the patient care that you all do every single day. That is really what fuels us.
Thanks so much, Joy. That is quite a story, and you certainly have had a front row seat on many of the challenges in healthcare. Tim, tell us a little bit how you got into the 340B space.
I'm actually a third generation pharmacist in my family, and my introduction to 340B occurred during my time at Nationwide Children's Hospital. As is typical for pediatric institutions, the reimbursement was challenging, and the savings generated by 340B were really crucial for the hospital to fulfill its mission, services. While I was there, I witnessed firsthand the services we could provide to families and children that were made possible by these savings. And that really made an impression on me, especially as a parent myself. Since then, I've had the privilege of being involved with the 340B program across other types of covered entities, including disproportionate share hospitals and grantees such as hemophiliac treatment centers and Ryan White clinics. I think there's just so many great examples of the 340B impact and really help justify why the statute was created in the first place.
Thanks so much, Tim. And I guess we should add here that you graduated from Ohio State University. As you mentioned, you were third generation in pharmacy. You have your doctorate in pharmacy. You completed a 2-year residency, and then you worked in a variety of pharmacy leadership roles. Can you share what makes you excited for what Plenful is building, given what you have seen firsthand as a pharmacy leader?
I've been really fortunate to work with some amazing people and incredible organizations, from health systems, hospitals, to venture-backed technology companies. During my time on the provider side, innovation and leveraging technology was always something that I was passionate about and really prioritized. However, the solutions to these complex problems and data were often unavailable. Another challenge was labor. There's a number of reasons, but at the core, from an executive standpoint, it's one of the very few things you can control. So as a not-for-profit healthcare provider, it's very difficult to manage the number of patients who need services, the type of services they require, or the complexity of that care, which ultimately drive cost and revenue. But you can control the number of people you hire and the hours they work. So as a result, managing FTEs and labor metrics was a top priority. And at the same time, offering new services, maintaining the compliance standards, and maximizing optimal patient care requires expertise in people. So since my provider side experience, I've worked at 2 tech companies that have focused on solving this problem: how to leverage automation and specifically AI to enhance outcomes and efficiency. As you've heard already, Joy's incredible energy and focus, partnered with Plenful's mission, really aligned well for me and what I'm interested in and frankly good at. So it's exciting to be part of a team that utilizes some cutting edge technology to address some of the historical challenges that I encountered on the provider side, as well as some emerging ones like we see in the 340B space.
Well, there's definitely a lot of moving parts. So to that point, tell us more about Plenful. Where do you fit into the 340B space? Tell us about the solutions that you provide and who are your key customers?
Absolutely. So on Plenful's side, what we have focused on from day one is our core mission, which is to drive operational efficiency in healthcare. That we do by building the best agentic operating platform out there that focuses on pharmacy operations and how do we drive measurable value. Our team is all about ROI and making sure that we deliver on behalf of our partners. Typically, value comes in 3 formats for Plenful. The first is time and cost savings, right? How do we drive efficiency, especially in those administrative workflows? The second is how do we partner on the right financial outcomes in terms of revenue, in terms of margin, in terms of capacity expansion. For our 340B solution, this is highly relevant given the millions of dollars of things like missed opportunities that we're excited to dig into. And the third is around institutional knowledge, right? Making sure that a covered entity's specific nuances for areas like their 340B program can be housed in one platform that can handle that complexity at scale. Now, in terms of our key customers, we are very lucky to work with many of the leading healthcare enterprise organizations around the country, including some of the largest academic medical centers, covered entities. And I know for today, we're really going to dig into our 340B solution and how we partner.
Thanks so much, Joy. So let's talk about AI for a moment, since this is Plenful's key focus. The U.S. healthcare system, which spends almost $1 trillion per year on administrative tasks, is an area where AI is introducing much needed efficiency. 340B, like other areas of pharmacy, involves a great deal of labor-intensive manual work to effectively meet compliance requirements. Plenful offers an agentic operating system built for pharmacy and healthcare operations, which can be used by 340B covered entities to support a wide range of high-impact use cases like 340B compliance audits, 340B missed opportunities, referral capture, and support for the upcoming rebate model. Tell us more about this business line and how it provides unique value in the 340B space.
I'm happy to, Anna. Automation presents so many opportunities to optimize a 340B program to drive compliance, maximize savings. We've bundled several strategic solutions within our 340B audit and optimization suite. Our compliance audit screens 100% of 340B eligible claims across any setting: contract pharmacies, internal, retail, or your mixed use setting. We apply the covered entity's specific patient definition using some sophisticated audit logic and a configurable rules-based engine to flag these risk-prone opportunities. This eliminates the need for random or spot audits and enables you to repurpose your time on relevant claims that require attention versus hoping you selected one in your random or spot audit. We use a similar methodology to identify 340B missed opportunities. The platform screens ineligible claims and surfaces opportunities for 340B reclassification, driving additional 340B savings. In fact, we recently had a partner of ours find an additional $2 million over the first 4 weeks utilizing this strategy. Referrals are another area we see ripe with opportunity. Many CEs are exploring an internal workflow for referrals, but it's so labor intensive, especially if providers are designating their referral within their progress note rather than a formal referral order in EHR. It makes it really difficult to capture. Utilizing our referral capture functionality, we leverage large language models to capture the necessary referral documentation so those claims can be qualified 340B eligible. Another area with our reporting platform. Over the last 5 years, external reporting requirements have taken off from manufacturer ESP to state requirements. And we see more and more states adding this within their constituents. We automate this process by consolidating claims, encounters, and dispensing details into audit-ready formats. Not only does this improve accuracy and efficiency, it also minimizes the sharing of non-essential data, which we see many covered entities have some concern with. We've also built a solution for the upcoming 340B rebate model pilot program. Similar to our other reporting capabilities, we added functionality to organize and submit the proposed claim data elements to manufacturers and then reconcile the rebate payments to ensure proper reimbursement. The tool also flags underpayments and surfaces key metrics like estimated cash flow, which we believe will be material for many covered entities.
Great. Thanks so much, Tim. So with all that said, what areas of AI do you see as potentially beneficial for 340B covered entities?
Due to the contract pharmacy restrictions, more 340B covered entities are trying to keep their prescription opportunities in-house. Many of these high-cost therapies also require prior authorization from payers. And if you've ever dealt with it, the whole process of benefit verification, navigating the payer formularies, and meticulously searching medical records for all the clinical details and previous step therapy info required on the prior authorization forms is complex and incredibly time consuming. Using AI here makes a real difference. There's an opportunity throughout the process, but a great step to highlight for the listeners here today is applying large language models to look through the EHR and then extract the pertinent clinical notes, labs, and past medication history to pre-populate that authorization form. We see really strong market demand for our intake authorization management suite, which provides a comprehensive end-to-end workflow solution for this platform.
Tim, thanks so much for providing so much detail. And there's obviously many things that folks need to think about in this area. What are some things that customers should evaluate when it comes to selecting their AI vendors?
Adopting AI should tie into your broader organization's digital transformation goals. I always encourage pharmacy leaders to ask, is there capacity for this solution to add value beyond pharmacy? Your strongest AI partners will allow you to consolidate vendors and create value across multiple workflows. We see vendors talk about AI like it's magic, but it's important you and the team understand exactly how it works. Not all AI is created equal. And unfortunately, there's no shortage of companies selling big promises with little transparency about what the technology is actually doing behind the scenes. It's also important to validate the vendor has pharmacy expertise. Even the best AI technology won't deliver if your partner doesn't understand pharmacy workflow, the data sources, and regulatory complexities. 340B is a great example of this. And from a technical perspective, I recommend whoever is leading the evaluation and their IT partners truly understand the functional components, the large language models, learning NLP, how the AI makes decisions, and where the human oversight fits in. Good AI and automation tools learn and improve over time. One of the key things I stress when evaluating a partner is asking, what are the feedback loops? How does your data get used to make the model smarter? This fine-tuning, as we refer to it, maximizes performance specific to your organization and enables continuous improvement. If you're in the market or interested in some additional detail, I wrote a short blog in Becker's on this topic titled How to Vet AI Partners, a Pharmacy Leader's Playbook. Overall, if you focus on those elements we discussed, I'm confident you'll find a great AI partner.
Thanks for providing the article, Tim. You can find the link in the show notes. Shifting gears for a moment to the policy space, the policy environment that our covered entities are in, the restrictions by some 40 drug manufacturers on contract pharmacy use have had a major impact on providers and on their patients. On the other hand, a number of states have recently passed protections in the contract pharmacy area. Can you tell us whether this is an area that Plenful is focused on and whether you have solutions to help mitigate the challenges in the current environment?
So the part of that question that Plenful has really leaned into is around the solution side. How do we help covered entities, especially with the increase of operational complexity and burden that otherwise falls on 340B teams? Now, that shows up for us in a variety of ways. We've seen three key themes emerge. First is around reporting, right? Tim mentioned if that is on the rebate side, which is a very hot button issue right now, making sure that teams have the right reporting, monitoring, reconciliation at their fingertips. And then we're also seeing the state reporting really increase too. So we have many partners that Plenful actually powers this critical workflow for them to make sure that they can retain their 340B dollars, they can protect their programs, and also optimize as they go. And so that really goes back to our mission as a company, right? And what is near and dear to our heart is how do we help teams with the operations and the complexity that otherwise a platform like ours can help them solve.
You mentioned the rebate model. The possibility of shifting 340B from an upfront discount program to a rebate model is a major concern for the 340B provider community. What are your thoughts about this potential shift, the ramifications for providers and ultimately for patients?
Given the litigation and effectuation strategy by manufacturers to determine which claims qualify for maximum fair price refunds, this isn't a surprise. However, I'm not sure either party, the manufacturers or covered entities, are entirely thrilled about it. From a provider perspective, this adds additional administrative work with the claim submission and rebate reconciliation. On the financial side, because covered entities will now receive a rebate versus discount pricing on the front end, the flow could create some cash flow challenges. Unless covered entities elect to exclude these drugs from their 340B programs, which of course would then reduce 340B savings that support patients and services alike, I'm not sure we're going to see much impact on the patients themselves.
Thank you for that insight into a very important subject that our folks are thinking about right now. Do you have any last words of advice for 340B stakeholders as they prepare for a challenging time?
The best advice that we have is to really choose the partners that check a few important boxes. The first, that they are a proven solution in the marketplace. They have partners that can vouch for their great customer experience, their KPIs, the ROI that they actually deliver. The second is to find partners that have, of course, the best-in-class technology teams, the AI and machine learning capabilities that I know Tim touched on today. And the third is to find folks who understand your space firsthand. Those are the organizations that we've seen can be the best strategic partners for teams, especially in an evolving time. The new rebate model, which we talked about today, promises a lot of change and it's coming fast. And so making sure that you work with folks who understand those complexities, have a very nimble configurable software are really key for our partners and how they feel successful, especially going into the new year. Now, the other piece that I'll mention is making sure that you partner with teams that have experience spanning many parts of the healthcare ecosystem that are relevant for these core use cases. So on our end, we've built an amazing team. We have partners that have worked at 340B, integration partners. We've had team members that have worked at the biggest EHRs and pharmacy management software systems. So truly that focus on this vertical and expertise, we think is incredibly important to be able to deliver the best solutions on behalf of the healthcare ecosystem.
Well, thank you both again so much for joining us today. Stay tuned for our next 340B Leaders Upfront podcast, which will occur next month. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to having you join us for our next podcast. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing to 340B Report by going to 340breport.com and using the coupon code podcast25 to receive a 25% discount. It's the best way to stay on top of the latest developments in the ever-changing 340B program. Also, check out our other podcast, Inside 340B Report, to hear our journalists discuss the latest 340B developments.